Okay, Venus in Aquarius, I really tried to think of what the best song was. Now I'm thinking of Britney Spears. Give me more, give me more, give me more. That's popping up in my head. Just the beat of that song. Dum 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 dum. That's coming up in my head. But before I got onto this video, I was like, Cruel Summer by Bananarama. I don't know. But that was the first song that popped in my head, and I was like, it gotta be more for Aquarius. But that, just the beat, the energy of that song, just that, you know what I mean? It's a cruel summer. Hey. Leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel summer. Hey, You're not the only one. It's a cruel summer. Leaving me here on my own, it's so cruel. And so I looked up the lyrics to this song to kind of see, because I heard the song, like sometimes the song will just like randomly play when I was in different places that I would go to, and I'll be like, why does this song keep following me? And so when I looked up to the lyrics to the song, they were talking about like the heat, you know what I mean? Like it's a hot ass summer. You know, and one of the lyrics is like, I'm trying to smile, but, you know, the heat is so heavy and, like, it's so hot. And then I thought about Venus and Leo sitting on the opposite side of you. Like, it's just so hot that I try to smile. And then this being fixed air, you know, the air is dense, it's hot. You know what I'm saying? It's too hot to handle. You know what I mean? My friends left. You know, the friends is gone. The city is crowded, but my friends is gone, so I can't play the water. You know what I mean? So that's the song that I got from Venus and Aquarius, just the energy, because I try to tap into like what kind of energy, just the beat of that song. And even though they're talking about this hot ass summer, like there's an essence to the beat of the song that's kind of like creeping, like cruel summer. Hey, leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel summer. Hey. Hey, you're not the only. I'm not a Venus in Aquarius, but I get it. I understand. So that's the energy I got from Venus in Aquarius. For those of y'all that's checking in for the first time, my name is Kru, also known as Araneae Storm. I am your Cosmic Rootwork astrologer. I specialize in Mars activations as well as North Node and South Node consultations. You feel me? So, and I also want to make, I guess I got to do it first. These are the things, announcements before we jump into Venus and Aquarius. I just had a realization, like, I was watching, True Brilliance, on her video had popped up and stuff, and, she was talking about, and this hasn't been coming up for me, but I was like, should I, blah, blah, blah. And it's not even something that I should have to really say or explain. Cause I really don't. But I did want to, like, kind of put this forth before we get into this. Because I'm recording this before we get into the conjunction. Saturn-Jupiter conjunction next week. And I'm definitely about to take a little break from YouTube. You know what I mean? It's not going to be no long-ass break, but I'm definitely, to close out this year, after this series is over, I won't be back to probably about the first week of January, because I just need time to, like, recoup, get some things together, get my mind right. You know, I definitely, even though sometimes I'll be trying to be like, I'm going to crank out this many videos, blah, 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 blah. To a certain degree, I could do that if I really push myself, but at the same time, I'm like, if I don't feel the energy and I'm recording videos, like, it just makes the video, like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make it, like, it's energy. You feel what I'm saying? So, I want to say on this video, and I will definitely say it on the Venus Pisces video, and also for the weekly astrology video, and a video I'll probably do to kind of close out the year. Yeah, I'm going to take a little break. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take a little break from, you know, posting and things like that, just so I can recoup, get my energy back in, you know what I'm saying, draw my energy back in. This particular conjunction is going to be happening in my 12th house, So motherfuckers gonna have to get their mind right. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of Aquarius, you know, Aquarius will be transiting through the 12th for me. So yeah, it needs some time before we get into it, you know what I mean? And then so I could come back, you know what I mean? But enough about that. I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Mars activations, the Pluto and Venus rising videos available. I have the Jupiter and the Big Leap available till the Cancer full moon. So if you would like to check that out before it goes back on the website, you can definitely check that out there. Shoot, is it anything else? The Saturn Jupiter conjunction video is up if you wanted to go ahead and check that out. And I think that's about it. I think that's about it before we get into it. So what is Venus in astrology? Venus is actually ruling over Libra and Taurus, right? So this is the way, you know, your values, you know, this is like your friendship groups, your partnerships, your business partnerships, your intimate partnerships with people. This is the type of energy that you embody, as well as the type of energy that you're attracted to, regardless if it's friends, you know what I mean? The type of people that, you know, come into your area, come into your space. You know what I mean? And what you look for in a partner as well, you know, and things like that. Also, I've been saying, just kind of a note, I don't know if this necessarily has to do with Venus energy in general. When I think about it, when I start thinking about it, I'm like, it kind of could. But if we just talking about 7th house and, you know, Venus being like ruler, like its rulership over the 7th house of that Libra energy, this is where we find like hidden enemies and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, well, that's interesting, because once you start accumulating Venus, you know, once you start attracting that abundance and things like that, motherfuckers get jealous. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers be feeling some type of way. So I could see where, and even just you shining Venus, Venusian energy, just you being you, this could definitely be and play out as that energy. I'm gonna look more into it, so I'm not like this ain't the end all be all type shit for y'all, but I'm just saying, like, you know, I would definitely say, since this is 7th house energy, you know what I mean, Venus energy, Venusian energy, that is a possibility. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. Let me know what y'all think, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, when you have Venus in this fixed air element of Aquarius day 1, day 2, day 3, whatever the case may be, they fucking need freedom. Like Sagittarius, they need freedom. You know what I mean? It's so funny. Like I'll talk to somebody who has like heavy Aquarian energy, or just Aquarians in general. Like, this is the type of energy, like, they're perfectly okay with not seeing a person every single day. They're perfectly okay. You know, I've even talked to some Aquariuses that are like, you know, I could live in a separate house with my partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to necessarily be, you know, in the same space. We can have our own places, our own, you know what I mean, dynamic or whatever. Also, too, for Aquarius, it's easy for them to be, I want to say it's easy for y'all, but like, this is the type of energy where there could be like multiple relationships forming, you know, with this Venus energy. Also 5th house energy, but really 7th and Venus energy of like, you know, they kind of explore different kinds of ways to love, because we're talking about like just freedom of not only just an individual, but freedom of sexuality, taboos. So this is the type of person, for example, you know, who probably wouldn't mind being poly, or, you know, having, you know, or being in like a polygamous relationship with multiple wives or multiple, you know, husbands, or whatever the case may be, whatever you know, go in. Like, this is that type of energy where they will want to explore like different types of relationships with people. I feel like Venus in Aquarius needs to be around people, not necessarily with like minds totally all the way, but, you know, it's very eccentric, very like out of this world kind of energy. So, you know, if you kind of like a dud in the, you know, mind, you know, it's a hard one to crack with Venus and Aquarius. They like their mind to be piqued. They like their curiosity to be piqued. This is still air, you know, and we're talking about matters of the mind. So, you know, talking to them about like, you know, how we can break through the system, you know what I'm saying? Conspiracy theories, aliens, you know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff, you know, just different like weird things that kind of float through your mind, or just spirituality, occult. This is also ruler over occult, as well as Pisces, like occult knowledge, things that wouldn't readily be available to the masses, or things that people wouldn't necessarily readily dive into. Aquarius will, and Aquarius likes people, partnerships, friendships, things like that they can really dive deeper into with people. People, this is the type of energy too that really gets along with, like, or pulls in, like, outcasts, like, people who might be looked down upon, and not even looked down upon, but society may cast as like, oh, that motherfucker weird as hell, or they be on some, like, weird shit or whatever. But then, like, 10 years later, everybody's all of a sudden, what I'm saying, on this wave. Like, y'all trend-setting ass motherfuckers. Like, y'all come out the gate like, oh, this is what I believe. This is, it's fixed air. It's what I believe. This is what I'm into, blah, 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 blah. If you don't like it, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Venus in Aquarius also too can, like, switch a lot of friend groups, in a sense of, like, not to say that it always has to be something where something happens within the friendship groups, but, like, Aquarius is it can be a lot of times, very fixed in his ways and, like, how it feels. And even if it decides to change, it's still very fixed in whatever changes that it's made to, like, its ideals of life, and, like, how are we supposed to live, and how are we supposed to be doing things, and what we can be doing to be doing, you know what I mean? So if Aquarius isn't, like, because this is also, like, groups, organization kind of energy, and if Aquarius is in a group where their ideals don't necessarily match up to the groups, like, and it's like Aquarius get the feeling some type of way, because Aquarius is like, well, I hear what y'all saying, but y'all sounding mad crazy out here, like, you know what I'm saying? So but also too, what's crazy about it is Aquarius will still work with the group. Aquarius is a connector, so Aquarius will bring people together in these groups. Aquarius will put these things, and you know what I mean? It's very Geminian in that sense of, like, it, because we're talking about humanitarianism humanitarianism here. Doing things for the cause, doing things for the greater good, ascending the collective consciousness, opening third eye, kundalini energies, you know what I'm saying, and the idas and all that, you know what I mean? Like, this, it'll definitely, Venus and Aquarius will definitely come in to open your mind to new things, to get you to explore new things. But if you go against those things, those things that Aquarius believes, it's not to say that Aquarius is necessarily going to look at the Mars, it's going to go the fuck off on you, but Aquarius is going to tell you that, like, yo, I hear what you're saying, but yeah, nah. You know what I mean? Like, I hear what you're saying, but I know. So it's kind of like, what do you do there? You know what I mean? Like, what do you, I know. So, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but, that's Aquarius's energy. It's just like, I know, but, like, I know what I'm talking about. So what you telling me right now is just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, definitely Aquarius. I would definitely say Aquarius is very much so a prophet, in the sense of, like, it's able to, y'all are able to see into the future. You will attract, like, not for all, but for the most part, like, beings that are just kind of, like, out of this world, you know what I mean? And spiritual guides come into this play. Like, you have, like, a link connection, especially when Jupiter moves here, or if Jupiter's here, but we're talking about Venus. But, like, if we're talking about relationships and partnerships, if you tap into it, if you're able to connect your mind to higher and upper echelon, because I talk about Aquarius being like the upper echelon energy, it's easy for you to tap into the ethereal, you know what I mean? Like, your spirit guides, the upper echelon, whatever you want to call it, they will directly connect you and link you to things. Sometimes even with this placement, I can definitely say that you'll receive downloads that you don't necessarily even have to read up to know. Like, you just know. Like, I know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'll just automatically tap into the energy or whatever's going on, and it'll go without saying that, like, you'll just be speaking on the downloads that you're receiving through spirit, and motherfuckers be like, well, where are you getting this information from? You'd be like, I just know. Like, I just know this, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, It's just a given, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just that, you know what I mean? And then it'll, pop off. So I would definitely say with Venus and Aquarius, definitely trust your knowledge, your wisdom. I'm not saying that everything that you say is gold and all that, in a sense of like, what did Erykah Badu? A man that knows that he knows nothing and knows nothing at all, or something like that. I said this in another video too. But that is that energy, like knowing what you know, but also being open and perceptive to other perspectives and other, you know what I mean, wisdom, knowledge, and things like that. Not to say that Aquarius won't, but just putting that out there, you know what I'm saying? Because Aquarius can get like, but I know I know this, But yeah, Aquarius, it's easy for you to predict the future. It's easy for you to just tap into, energies that this world couldn't even see or wouldn't be open to seeing, because if they saw it, they'd probably freak the fuck out, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Aquarius is also not afraid to go at it at their own. I mean, of course, you want to bring people together. You want to connect. You want to fight for what's right. This is for the people. Now, with Venus in Aquarius, all right, I always talk about this when it comes to Aquarian energy, because it can get like that. This can go from being for the people and bringing folks together for the greater good, and then this can get real culty. There's always a culty-esque. Venus in Scorpio, Venus in Aquarius is always like this culty-esque. If this energy, depending on like the frequency that this energy is in, you feel what I mean? Like, it's very easy for you to bring people together, but what are you bringing people together for? I think that's a question that you want to ask yourself, is why you are bringing people together. What is y'all's purpose? And of course you honor or want the individual self and people to be free, but definitely, you know what I mean? It can teeter-totter, you know what I mean? It could definitely teeter-totter around, you know what I mean? So I think just keeping those checks, you know what I mean? Keeping that mind lubricated and stimulated, you feel what I'm saying, can keep you in check with yourself and in check with the people that are around you, for sure. And even if this is not your energy, you can fall into this kind of energy, you know what I mean? Or be walking into like this energy and be like, why, how the fuck did I get here? Yeah, shit get deep, you feel me? Rebellious in nature, very rebellious. Venus in Aquarius is a natural rebel, sometimes honestly to the point where, Aquarius goes hard in the paint, and then we just miss Aquarius. It's like, whoa, where'd you go? You know what I mean? But Aquarius don't back down when it comes to their beliefs, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like you can shift or try to. Aquarius got to kind of come, especially when we're talking about fixed energy in its own. Aquarius has to kind of come to its own understanding. You cannot change an Aquarius's mind. And even if you have changed Aquarius' mind low-key, they probably not going to tell you. It's probably going to be like, well, I've come to this conclusion. It's like, this is where I'm at with the whole shit. They're open, but then they're like, but I know. You know what I mean? Very unconventional, but then conventional, because although it's Uranian ruled, it's also ruled, did I talk about Capricorn? Oh yeah, I did talk about Saturn. But it's also Saturnian ruled too, you know what I mean? So just as much as, Aquarius can go and establish a tradition, Aquarius is like unpredictable in its ways. Like 1 minute it's over here, 1 minute it's over there, 1 minute it's like this. One day it could just switch just out of nowhere. If we're just talking about relationships, one day Aquarius is there, one day Aquarius is gone. Like we don't know what happened to Aquarius. The motherfucker just stopped answering my calls. I don't know. Show up like 3 months later, like, what's good, y'all? Like, where the fuck you been? Like, where have you been? And for some people who understand Aquarius in that way, will be like, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Next time, motherfucker, can you tell me that you about to go? You know what I mean? That you about to dip real quick? Motherfuckers can't find you. Niggas was worried. You know what I mean? But then again, there's some people who won't be able to handle that and then just kind of cut it off. And Aquarius is like, all right, I mean, Aquarius actually might take that to heart, especially if it's somebody that they, you know, have really built out that, you know, relationship with. Because just like Venus and Capricorn, you know, we go from Capricorn to Aquarius, you know, small circle is chosen few. Aquarius knows a lot of people, but small circles, G. Small circles. And when they trust you, they trust you. They in it. They in there with you. You know what I mean? Inspiring new ways of thinking, very musically inclined. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot of Venus and Aquariuses that were ghostwriters for people, that just kind of stayed behind the scenes, maybe even produced some new shit, some futuristic ass shit. I kind of think of Pharrell. I don't know if he has a Venus in Aquarius, but I think of Pharrell. I think of Missy Elliott, Timbaland, when they kind of started they whole wave of music, and it just didn't sound like anybody else's shit. Like, I don't even know. You know, I honestly want to go back to that when they first came out, like those transits, and see if there was any Aquarius or heavy Aquarius energy, because they just literally changed the entire future. Motherfuckers is still going back to the shit that they created because it was just so ahead of its time, period. You know what I mean? The inventors, you know what I mean? Like I said, need space. Also, too, I never talked about this, but I think between Venus and Gemini and Venus and Aquarius, and like I said, you want to check other aspects in the chart and things like that, and also experiences and things, because people are like, does astrology really tell if somebody, like, you know, could be bisexual or be in the community or something like that? I feel like Aquarius is not afraid to try different things, you know what I mean? And that's not to say that they're not Venus and Aquarius who are necessarily straight, but I would definitely believe, I would not be surprised if, like, somebody with heavy or strong Mars in Aquarius, Venus in Aquarius energy, you know, depending on, you know what I mean, like, would be willing to try, or ended up with, like, a partner that was, like, completely same or different gender, different sexuality, or same gender, you know, different sexual orientation. Like, they kind of like, you know, they like a little bit of everything, or they prefer a little bit of something, or it could be the complete opposite where they're asexual, you know what I mean, and they just don't, you know what I mean, like, it's extreme. This is Uranian energy, so it can go here, it could go there, it's over there, you know what I mean, like, it's wild, you feel me? So definitely freedom in relationships, the pioneer, so they start shit, you know, they'll start some shit and get the whole collective going, you know what I mean? This is the activist of the group as well. Believing in your own ideas is going to be something that stands and sticks for you, Venus and Aquarius. You know, oftentimes you'll have these radical ideas, these dope ass ideas, this rebellious just these ideas that ain't nobody thinking of, ain't nobody at all, and you'll let that one motherfucker that you telling all your stuff to, you know, that you trust to tell your shit to, and then they'll be like, well, how you gonna do that? Well, how you gonna make that happen? And it's just like, you know, then you start to doubt it, then you start to be all hard on yourself about it, and it's like, Venus and Aquarius, fuck them niggas. If they can't see your vision, if they not down with you, if they not supporting you, now I'm not saying that you gotta have a bunch of yes men around you. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you definitely want to believe in your own ideas, and even if motherfuckers around you don't believe in them, well, first of all, I would say there's probably not the people you need to be around. Not to say that people can't question you or ask you how, you know, just kind of see where you at, but the people that's completely dismissing your ideas or trying to, you know, say that they faulty or you'll never, not for you. It's just not for you. To go all out, do what it is that you need to do to lift off whatever is being downloaded in you to, you know, carry out for your soul path and your soul mission. Okay, so definitely like a trailblazer, trendsetters, you know what I mean? Like I said, y'all will do some shit, okay, that nobody else is doing. Nobody at all. We talk about this when we talk about Aquarius energy. Like, for example, the damn cell phone. You will literally have this fucking cell phone idea 20 years, 30 years back, right? Like, oh, what if we could talk to people? What if we could FaceTime? Blah, 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 blah. Motherfuckers would be like, what? You been watching too much, and it'll happen. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. You got to stick to not only what you know, but just be true to yourself and be true to your heart and what you believe in, how you want to move, okay? Definitely unique style. One thing I don't know if I talked about this. I didn't talk about this in Venus and Sag and Venus and Cap, but for you, if we're talking about style, your style is very unique. You know what I mean? Because Venus also rules like the type of clothes and things like you wear. So like you can go from like raging gothic black spikes, you know, all over the place. What's that damn Spencer's? You know what I'm saying? You could be all Spencered out, you know what I'm saying, 1 minute, and then the next minute you'll be like you have a whole new style. So it's not really something that can be contained. You just kind of like to try new shit, different color hairstyle, all types of shit. You just different. You just a different motherfucker, and that's okay, because that's how you do. You know what I mean? Nobody else, just you. All right. I put music, Bob Marley too. So I know I said what I said at the beginning, but Bob Marley, and I know Bob Marley was an Aquarius, but it just reminds me of like getting people together like soulfully, you know, but still going against the grain, you know what I mean? Definitely that. Is there anything else? Intellectuals, different cultures, different people, different things. I put preachy energy. Yeah, let's not get caught up in the Venus and Sag, you know what I mean? Venus and Sagittarius, like preaching off to the choir about like, you know what I mean? You got it. Whatever you believe, that's you. That you got it. You know, Venus and Aquarius. And if you ever, I'm going to leave it with this. If you ever start to feel like you are outcasted or outcast, or, you know, I think naturally a Venus and Aquarius will feel like I'm a little bit different. But we're all essentially different. We're all essentially have like that esque of something unique and different. But for you, because you know, you are out of this world. You do have out of this world ideas, the way your perspective, of course. But I guess not to let that outcast energy outcast you from actually connecting with people, socially distancing yourself from people to the point where you're not sharing your innovative ideas, your creative, you know what I mean? All of that. Your mind. We love your mind, Aquarius. We love you, but we love your mind, all right? So that's my analysis on Venus and Aquarius, y'all. You already know what it is. It's a rainstorm, checking in, checking out. We're going to be moving along to Venus and Pisces as we conclude the Venus series. You already know what it is. Checking in, checking out without a doubt.